Did you know your license is suspended? No, I had no idea. But in fact, her license was revoked. Oh, on May 13th for the same offense, which is driving while suspended. Oh,
I'm not going to get into the conversation per se.
Should.
Well, if he doesn't want to, we won't go there. So, Mr. Sadar, next question. You know, it's kind of hard to say no when you've got that opportunity. But
I want to say off the top of my head, I think driving on a suspended license is about $1,200. Yeah. Somewhere right in that area. Every municipality's different, you know, give or take a little bit.
Fani Willis and Nathan Wade busted, seen together, showing up as a pair, maybe some might say as a couple, to help Fani's daughter, Kinaya, because she's been arrested. Here is the mugshot of Kinaya. And of course, we're defense attorneys here. We presume the innocence of all people, including Kinaya here. But it's a little bit of a curious case because Fani happens to be the prosecutor for the entire county. Hello, this is your daughter. So you're supposed to have your house in order before you start prosecuting everybody else. And my question is Fani Willis also going to punish her to the fullest extent of the law? Very curious. We'll see what happens here. But that's the daughter of Fani Willis. We're also going to see that Nathan Wade showed up here. We're going to go through the body camera footage here. We're also going to go through the actual traffic citation and the incident report seen here together. But here's some background over from the Daily Mail, which broke this. They had the exclusive on it. They said that her daughter, who's pregnant, is arrested in Georgia for driving with a suspended license amid Trump's election interference case. Now, the daughter of Fani is now posing glumly. Got arrested. My mom's the county attorney, and this is happening to me? Says her mom, shot for the mugshot, sucks to be arrested. Terrible to have a suspended license. Let's see what happened with the suspended license. So Kinaya, 25, whose mom is spearheading a criminal election interference case, was arrested in Tyrone, Georgia. We'll read the incident report. Was pulled over because cops spotted her using a cell phone while driving. Also illegal. So that's a twofer now. She stated the reason for her using her cell phone. Young lady, why are you on your cell phone here in Georgia? You know you're not supposed to be on your cell phone, don't you? Well, sorry, my mom, who's a DA, was calling me. And she was calling me because I'm pregnant, officer, if you can't tell, the report states. So that's the two, mom and daughter. These are the two lovebirds. So you can see the Texas Southern University student told an officer from the Tyrone Police Department that she was unaware. Did you know your license is suspended? No, I had no idea. But in fact, her license was revoked. Oh, on May 13th for the same offense, which is driving while suspended. Oh. So that's a second offense. That's why they arrested her and impounded the car. They're not happy about this at all. She already got another ticket for driving on a suspended license. Busted. You already knew your license was suspended. She's driving again. Says that Kinaya was then searched, handcuffed at the side of the highway. So they arrested her, taken to the Fayette County Jail on a misdemeanor charge of driving with a revoked or suspended license. Right? That's a little bit of a different situation than the one I described earlier. Willis's mother later arrived on scene to take possession of her vehicle, the report says. A booking photo shows Kinaya looking drained and dejected. It's terrible to be arrested. She's going into Fani's jail. Are you kidding me? She's lucky she comes out alive. Hopefully she does. She was subsequently released and ordered to attend the town of Tyrone court for an arraignment. See, and normally that's what happens. Like her first offense, the first time she was driving on a suspended license, I'm sure she was just cited and released. But now she did it again. She was driving again on a suspended license, so she got booked. Now, the punishment for DOSL in Georgia is a minimum of 2 days in jail. Ooh. A fine of at least $500 and 6 months extension of the suspension. If she's found guilty of a second offense, there it goes, 10 days jail. Reach for a comment about this. Willis immediately hung up on the Daily Mail. You can imagine how that phone call went. Fani Willis is sitting in her office, probably Nathan Wade. Fani Willis has her feet up. Nathan Wade's rubbing her feet. They're probably talking about their next trip to Belize or whatever. Phone rings. Fani Willis answers. Fani Willis here. 1 second here. Let me finish my Grey Goose. Takes the call. This is the Daily Mail calling about your pregnant daughter who just got arrested. Do you have a comment? She hangs up the phone. Her arrest will come as a fresh blow to Willis, who shot to prominence after prosecuting Trump. She secured a grand jury indictment, which was totally rigged after she was indicting her lover, taking $700,000 from Georgia. This is the actual ticket itself. As you can see, uniform traffic citation, summons, and accusation. May look familiar if you have one of these or something similar. Your state probably has something that looks just like this. Ours does here in Arizona. Says August 24th, 2024 at 19 1925, we see that Kenaya Imani Willis has been cited. She is a black, 5'3", 100-pound, hair's black, black female, sex female, eyes brown. 2010 vehicle, Altima, driving it was silver. No accident was here, no injuries, no fatalities. We also have, it was a 2-lane road, and here's the offense. Violation of 40-5-121, license, driving while license suspended or revoked. It's a state law violation. The weather was clear on this day. It was dry. There was blacktop on the road. Traffic was medium, daylight, not a commercial vehicle, so no concerns there. Happened Highway 74, County of Fayette, which is not Fulton, right? It's not Fulton County, so it's Fayette County. Big Fani's in Fulton County, so it's a different county. And the officer who signed off onto this was Jacob Hale. So what happened is she got a citation, and she's been ordered to appear at Tyrone Municipal Court, October 24th, days before the election, on Sonoya Road at 9 a.m. in the morning, saying if you fail to appear, well, charges against you are going to move forward. And see, this is what happens. So every time you sign a citation, this is why they want you to sign it. If you don't sign the citation, cops will just say, oh, that's okay. If it's a misdemeanor, we'll just arrest you then and take you into custody. And that way you have clear notice of the charges. So they are signing it here. And what theoretically happens, right? Let's say we rewind the hypothetical back to another traffic ticket. Oh, you forgot to just respond to the ticket. You signed it. You go to the court. I didn't know about the court date. They say, yes, you did. You signed it. You confirmed. Here's the notice. This citation shall constitute the official notice. Like, you're not getting something in the mail that if you don't show up in court at the date and time stated on this citation, then it's going to cause the court to forward your driver's license number to the Department of Driver Services there, the DDS there, or your MVD or DMV, and your driver's license may be suspended. And the suspension is going to remain in effect until you satisfy the underlying issue with the court. And you must appear for this. It's a crime. So we'll see you. You're now notified to be here. License was displayed in lieu of bail. And so she signed off on the document, Kenaya Willis, saying that she'll be there at a later time. Officers also signing off on this, certifying it as well. So this is Big Fani Willis's daughter's police incident report after she got arrested for driving on a suspended, revoked license. The officer from the Tyrone Police Department tells us the following, says, on August 24th at approximately 1903 hours, I, Officer Jacob Hale, was observing traffic Highway 74 near the intersection of Carriage Oaks Drive in Tyrone, Georgia. Now, during this time, I observed a silver in color Nissan Altima with a female driver holding a cell phone to her ear. Illegal! I then activated my turn signal and positioned my patrol vehicle behind the Altima, Georgia tag redacted. I then activated my emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop on the vehicle due to the violation of the Georgia Hands-Free Act under Georgia Code. Now, the vehicle then came to a complete stop on Highway 74 near Tyrone Road in Tyrone, Georgia. What a coincidence. I then approached the driver of the vehicle and identified myself as a police officer and informed the driver for the reason of the traffic stop. The driver, who I identified via her driver's license as Kenaya Willis, stated that the reason for her using her cell phone while operating the vehicle was due to her mother calling her related to her pregnancy. Now, while running Willis's license through GCIC, it was shown that her driver's license was suspended as of May 13th, 2024. So not long ago, it was suspended for driving on a suspended license, okay? So that means that something else caused the suspended license, right? So this is definitely number 3. So something caused suspended license 1. So there was some other offense. Then she got popped for driving on a suspended license. And let's see if what he says. The suspension was shown not to have a serve date. So I then ran Willis's license through the Fayette County Dispatch, which confirmed that the license was suspended. So she might say I didn't know about it or something, right? We didn't serve the suspension on her. Not sure what he's referencing there, but let's come back to that. So I then approached Willis and I asked her to step out of her vehicle, to which she complied. I then advised Willis that her driver's license was suspended. She said, oh, I'm unaware my license is suspended. It is. I then asked Willis to place her. He says, yes, it is. You know it is. So turn around, you're under arrest. I turned her around to place her hands behind her back, at the time which she asked, am I being arrested? I then advised her that she was being placed under arrest for driving on a suspended license. I then handcuffed Willis's hands behind her back, checked the handcuffs for fit to ensure I could place 2 fingers within the loops of the cuffs, then double locked them for safety. Corporal Charles Clark and Officer Ralph Burke then arrived on scene as well as I was handcuffing Willis. I then requested through Fayette County Dispatch if a female deputy from Fayette was available for a search. I was then advised by Fayette County that a female deputy was not available. I then conducted a brief search incident to arrest for possible weapons and contrabands of Willis in view of my car car's front-facing camera, so you can see what I did. I then checked the back seat of my vehicle before placing Willis into the rear passenger seat. I then seat-belted Willis for safety in accordance with departmental policy. I then allowed Willis to retrieve several phone numbers from her phone. Willis advised that she would like to leave her phone with her acquaintance, who was an occupant of her vehicle. Willis's mother later arrived on scene to take possession of her vehicle. Small little Fani blurb there. I then transported Willis to Fayette County Jail for booking. While at the jail, I served Willis a citation for driving on a suspended license, as well as a warning for unlawful use of a wireless device. I then served Willis a notice of driver's license suspension form. I then returned to my duties within the town. Signed by this officer, busting Fani Willis's daughter. And one of the big questions about their indictment was whether their relationship had ever ended. And we remember that this clip, which was clip courtesy of Libs of TikTok for us, shared that back during the actual testimony, Fani Willis was asked, did you have an ongoing relationship, or do you currently, with Nathan Wade? Are you two still indicting each other? Because you're still co-counsel in this case. You're still special prosecutor and main DA. So what's the story? And here's what Fani said back during that era.
Ended, you left it in August of 2023. That sound right?
That's the hard conversation. That's not the...
We've covered this. Next question. You characterize it as a tough conversation, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to get into the conversation per se.
should.
Well, if he doesn't want to, we won't go there. So, Mr. Citations, next question. You know, it's kind of hard to say no when you've got that opportunity. But all I'm going to say is, was it pre-indictment in this case?
So...
We know the timeline that the indictment was delivered.
and so that we're clear, the physical relationship ended pre-indictment.
And is that when you were talking about the tough conversation?
I'm not sure that the tough conversation didn't happen until after, but the physical relationship, so I'm sure if you ask Mr. Wade, because he's a male, he would say we ended June or July because physical contact ended then. Just in my mind, being a woman, it's over when you have that like hard conversation. I just think women and men think differently.
And I think the answer, Mr. Citations, to your question was she's not sure whether it was before or after the indictment. I'm not sure that was her answer, but see if I can get specific.
That is what I said.
This whole thing was
That's what I said.
total circus.
Next question, Mr. Citations. The romantic relationship ended before the indictment was returned, yes or no?
To a man, yes.
To a man, yes. To you, no?
She's explained this, Mr. Citations.
Did the forthcoming indictment have anything to do with that?
Ooh.
Or was it just a coincidence?
Let's go on and have the conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
No.
Sure.
But I'm sure we'll talk about it further.
No, we're not going to talk about it further.
All right, no back and forth, Mr. Citations. Next question.
So that's the DA of Fulton County. Unbelievable situation to even watch it again. It was a circus when we watched it the first time. It's a circus the second time. So this is clearly not something that looks like it's happening currently, because these two showed up together, and this is Nathan Wade. He's back in the picture. We thought he would be long off to Belize, okay, a long time ago. And he's not in Belize. He's in Fayette County hanging out with Fani Willis, who is to his right, as we're going to see in just a second. There's Fani Willis.
Mom, Dad, what's the... Okay.
Fani, nice to meet you.
So,
Nice to meet you.
So, apparently her license is suspended.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
For something. Doesn't tell us what for or why or where, or that's something she's going to have to call DMV and find out. Okay. Probably what happened is she had a speeding ticket or some kind of traffic infraction, never went to court, didn't take care of it. Okay. That's the best guess. So she's gone over to Fayette County Jail, which is right in the Fayetteville Square. It's 145 Johnson Avenue. Yeah. Normally, I would say a couple hours is the process. It just depends on how busy they are and like that, okay? Yeah. The driving on the suspended's basically a traffic citation. She's got to have her fingerprints done and picture taken, then she can make her bonds. You can pay it cash, use the bondsman, be 10%, whatever. They've got a list of people over there, too, that you can choose from and use, whatever. So the vehicle's registered to her. Okay. I don't know.
This is hilarious. Okay, because because Fani Willis is the DA, and this dude is explaining bond and the process of getting her out of custody and the whole arrest and, arraignment process, essentially getting her out of custody, the initial appearance and all the whole stuff, right? Explaining to them, saying it's a traffic offense. Nathan Wade is going to play Mr. Defense Attorney here for a second. Well, why was she stopped? What was the basis for the stop? Maybe we'll file a motion to suppress based on that.
If it was on a flock hit or if the officer observed some kind of traffic infraction, it wasn't me. I didn't make a traffic stop. He's already gone and got her going. Okay. So whatever the case may be, when you run the tag, it obviously gives us the vehicle information and the registered owner. Okay. And it's already in the system that has the invalid license. Yeah. So upon that, we just verify that it is that person driving or stop the car first at that point. We don't have to know it's them. It's general assumption that the registered owner is the driver of the vehicle. Yeah. If you stop it and it's not, okay, have a nice day. But in this case, she was. So.
Yep. So the keys to the car here?
Yes.
Yeah,
everything's here. Yeah, everything's in there.
She has 3 numbers. I believe she gave, let's say, your number, a JC, and a third name I didn't hear. She'll allow us to she's allowed to get 3 phone calls when she gets up there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just park the car and
once they get the process done, she can make a couple phone calls and call you guys and say, okay, I'm ready, this is how much it is, whatever. I want to say off the top of my head, I think driving on a suspended license is about $1,200. Yeah. Somewhere right in that area. Every municipality's different, give or take a little bit.
Okay, so the body camera may go on a little bit longer. There might be some other guys with some other footage, because the other officer, as we saw, said that he gave her a full pat down and he did it in front of his vehicle. So I would presume another body camera out or another vehicle camera that's also out and that's available. But there was some story about this that in some other reports, apparently it came up. They know who she is. The cops asked Willis if Willis and Wade were Kenaya's parents, but no, the powerful DA told them that the high-profile lover was just a friend. Just a friend. Embattled DA Willis showed up at the scene, arresting the daughter. The pair who came under scrutiny for indicting each other after ripping off $700,000 from Georgia appeared. 2 lawyers pulled up. They were in a black Ford SUV after Kenaya had already been taken to jail. They were on the scene for about 5 minutes, got the car, and bailed. Willis could be heard calmly saying, Willis said, "It was news to me that her license was suspended. I had no idea." And I could believe that, right? I could believe a daughter not telling mom about this. Like, mom's a prosecutor. Let me fix this. Wade was there wearing a baseball hat. He quietly listened about why the cops stopped Kenaya. At one point, one of the officers, Willis gave the officers her license and asked them not to put her address in the report. Says, "Here's my license. Please don't include that in the report." Seemingly aware of her high-profile position, saying her request was for obvious reasons, one cop said. "Oh yeah, we won't put that in there for obvious reasons." He knows who she is. "Y'all can have my address," she said, "but the rest of the world, no," said Fani. After the video showed Willis leaving the scene in her daughter's silver Nissan Altima, while Wade drove away in the car that they arrived in. Kenaya told the cops the reason she was using the phone is because mom called and she was pregnant. Mom said unaware. Naya and her other sister claimed she was unaware that the license had been revoked. License was already revoked for driving while it was suspended. Why was it suspended? I don't know. Probably another reason. Willis and Wade came under fire earlier this year for their clandestine relationship, which obviously was a big deal. Here's the two showing up. What is she? Her shirt says Scorpion Girl? No. Okay, the Scorpion Queen was the woman with the scorpion pin who showed up and obliterated Nathan Wade, representing Jocelyn Wade. We remember her. And the Nathan shirt says Together 404. I'm sure that's some sort of a cause for something. So Trump and other co-defendants have been trying to boot Willis. The DA's office and Wade and Willis did not immediately return calls for requests on Wednesday morning. And so a trial date hasn't been scheduled in the Trump case because that's still on appeal. And we're going to be covering that, obviously. And we're going to keep our eye on what's happening with Fani Willis. Her daughter is driving all over the place, insurrecting the streets of Georgia. Maybe she should focus on that and not fake charges against President Trump.